friend Kent doing today, this morning?
Mixed. He's still teetering on. He actually, I mean, mentally he's great. He watched the national championship game last night, and we texted back and forth a little bit during it. Um, and and the uh, but this morning he's still requiring a very high concentration of oxygen, and got some chest pain in his chest. He's not sure where it's coming from, and I texted him some follow-up questions which he hasn't answered yet. So
Paul,
he's just barely hanging in there, I think.
if you can't find your spreadsheet, I could throw it up on the screen.
Well, let's see. I know it's got a. You don't see anything yet, right?
Yeah, now we are.
Yeah,
There-
we got.
You got it.
Oh, is that who did that? Did I do that?
Yeah, it's got your name on it and everything.
I don't see. Oh, there it is.
That's actually the COVID
That's
stat.
a COVID tally.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought that.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
You
Didn't seem
clicked
right.
you clicked on the wrong.
Let's see the budget. It looks a lot better.
Funny, Murphy. Murphy's sneezing. Oh God, the whole world's
Oh,
coming
do you
down.
see? You see
I
it
sneezed
now?
into my elbow though, so you know.
Do you see it now?
No,
No.
I did.
we see the COVID thing.
What?
Yeah.
Just clicked on you.
On my screen is the Rotary report.
Oh well.
So what?
Close the COVID if you can, or
Okay.
minimize it.
Share and try again. How's
Yeah,
that?
there you go.
There you go.
Start over again.
Now let's see. Rotary. It didn't say Rotary what, but no, that's not right. All right, show all windows. Here we go. I gotta show the rest of it.
You know it helps if you close a lot of stuff if you have it.
Oh, I have to keep it all open so I can find it.
Oh God.
And of course, you can't find it.
There you go. Hey.
Hey. Auto hide ribbon. There we go. All right. Everybody got it now?
Yep.
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 Pardon me. Excuse me. So this is December. There wasn't a whole lot going on in December, except at the very end. We did have some dues come in, and especially after Randy sent out the second Dunning email, then we got a few more paid. We did send on the 7th of December money to the Rotary Foundation. That was the money that had been contributed in Richard Leal's name. So that money went to the polio fund, with the idea being that that money would be that much less money that the club would have to send in its name later, which would save that money in our contribution fund. And then at the end of the month, we sent the big chunk that we send twice a year to the Rotary Foundation. 1,040 from the club to Rotary Foundation. 2 individuals had contributed a total of 175, and that went. And then this is all the money that had been contributed by the members with their dues during the first 6 months of the fiscal year. Those 2 items. So we ended up with a total of $17,996.99, of which you can see how much was in the operating fund and how much was in the contribution fund. So, any questions? And Bobby Masters became a member, so we now have 39 members.
Paul, when do we make contributions to organizations we generally support?
Whenever the board approves them. We've made a few contributions so far this year.
Yeah. Where are we relative to what we would give in a fiscal year? How much have we?
Well, I didn't have time to add this to.
Okay,
the-
well, you know, you don't do it now, but next board meeting, I think we ought to
Yeah.
talk about contributions.
Right.
Okay. All right, what else you got, Paul?
That's it.
Okay, a motion to accept
So
the,
moved.
okay, second?
Second.
Oh, who was first if you were second?
Randy.
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ayes have it. The financial report is accepted. Okay, what else you got, Paul?
Nothing. What else did you want me to have?
A report on your health.
Oh, well, my health is okay, I think. I'm planning to get a COVID test this afternoon, which hopefully will be negative. I'll report that to everybody.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, we're all going to have big prayers for you between now and 3:30 or so. So you take care of yourself, my friend.
Thank you.
Well, I have a number of friends and family that got tested too because they were starting to feel bad. Turns out they were all negative and it was just a cold, I guess, and they got over it quickly. So hopefully that's all.
Hopefully that's all this is, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think we're kind of conditioned now to, you know, when we sneeze,
yeah.
oh God. I'm
You
coming
get a
down.
little bit of something. I mean, you wonder, you know, what else could it be? How would I have gotten it? Because we're all pretty much isolating
Yeah.
ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, just as an idea, do you think it would be a good idea to put a link or something in the newspaper this week to let everybody know, you know, how you go about scheduling to get a test if you think you need one? I mean, I know the rural health center does it, but honestly, I don't know, other than just calling them cold, how you would get it
Yeah, it's
scheduled.
a little harder than I thought it would be. I got tested once before, a couple of months ago, because Josie, who lives with us, came home from her daycare with you know, just cold symptoms, and then Ginger and I both got them, and so we worried a little bit, and actually Ginger called Josie has a pediatrician here on the Eastern Shore, so she called her, and so they scheduled us all three to come in, and those were all negative. And it was pretty easy that time. This time I actually called rural. I looked I Googled how to do it, how to best get a test. I had heard that maybe you could go to CVS's and get tests for free. But you have to go across to Virginia Beach. The one, best I could tell from looking at and I tried to call them too. There's one up in Only, and I thought maybe I could go up there and get a test. But they had if they did it, they had no availability. And similarly for the ones I couldn't even drive across the bay and get, you have got to make an appointment even to go to a CVS to get it. And they were all full. They were all totally booked for all yesterday anyway. And so I called rural health first thing in the morning, had about an hour wait for them to get on the phone with me. And then they said somebody would call me back to I thought schedule the test, but it was just to schedule an appointment. And I had to wait about 3 hours for that call. And then they had no appointments available yesterday for the tele appointment. which you have to have before you can get the test scheduled. So finally I had that appointment this morning, and they scheduled the test for this afternoon, which means going and getting the long line at Rural Health at Eastville.
I'm wondering if they're having conflicts with all the lines of people coming in to get the vaccination, and the staff is.
No, I don't think they started giving the vaccination.
Not doing it yet.
Yeah, it's just that there's such a huge surge in cases here on the Eastern Shore, and as everywhere, that they're just overwhelmed. Everybody's overwhelmed.
Okay.
I wonder if Dr.
Chuck, can you do that? That's a good idea, Bill.
I'll look it up. I'll, put the process, but like Paul said, he's already done it. He followed the process and still.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put something in the newsletter that doesn't work pretty
No, I
solid.
wouldn't either. No.
You have to
Well, I
call
wonder if Dr.
and get an appointment, a telemedicine appointment, and then they have to schedule it.
I was able to schedule a test at the CVS and only before the holidays. Before the holidays, which went really well. I mean, I drove up, I had a designated time, and 2 days later, I had the results.
Wow.
But
Well, I called the CVS and only, and
they may be backlogged now. And
yeah, I couldn't connect with a person, and finally there was a number you could put in the phone if you had to do with COVID, which it did, and then it says if you want to schedule a test, you have to do it online.
yeah, I did schedule it online.
So I did go to online and tried to schedule a test, and it didn't even show any availability whatsoever in only.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the first time I did it that that CVS even recognized they had a place in only. I don't remember how I got around that, but it wasn't easy. It was getting the results was more difficult than scheduling the test.
Right.
You had to go through all kind of security hoops to do it. So
Okay, let's move on. And what we'll do is we'll have some discussion during the regular meeting about where we are with the virus. I think that I'm concerned that we're beginning to get Zoom fatigued with these meetings.
yeah.
And I wonder if we should have a virtual schedule as opposed to open for discussion, as opposed to our regular in-person, every week kind of thing. Open for discussion.
What do you mean?
I'm not following you. What do you mean?
Do we have to meet every week, or should we meet every week?
Oh, okay.
Exmoor is meeting every other week, but they're doing it in person at the Moose Lodge, but they've got plenty of room spread out there. So,
Still
in
crazy.
person, absolutely. They're meeting every other week.
Randy?
I agree. I think the interest level is dropping off. What concerns me though is will it drop off even more?
Yeah, that's the other side of the coin.
If we don't try it. I mean, we've got quite a few members who don't participate at all, and we need to deal with that. I mean, we're growing the membership, but we're growing not completely all the new people, but a lot of the newer members have been inactive insofar as Zoom is concerned. So we need to kind of noodle. Are there alternatives? I don't know of any, but I think maybe not doing the weekly meeting, it may be discouraging when we try to do it and not too many people show up, but not trying to do it, I think, is probably the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, that concerned me as well. When I've been thinking about this a lot. Maybe, and I wish Reggie was here, at the end of the month, we would have our social. Maybe if we did something just informally, that would be more fun, but I can't imagine having what we would do.
Well,
We gotta
remember
mix it up.
Unfortunately, our attendance at the social was less than most of our attendance at our meetings.
Right.
The thing that's kind of confusing, discouraging to me is you would think with a Zoom meeting, that would encourage people that normally don't come to meetings because they have a daytime job to get online and come. But they've just completely disappeared. All the younger folks with jobs, they're not showing up for Zoom meetings. And obviously they weren't showing up much at in-person meetings because they had to work. But one would think with a Zoom capability, that would play into their hand to attend virtually, but they're not. So I don't know what we can do about the younger folks and to encourage them to join us.
Well, one thing we can do is put some discipline in call your buddy. Maybe at today's meeting, we ask everybody, and we lull on this for a while, really make a point of it. If somebody has a buddy on the call, then we find somebody else who isn't there, and make sure that everybody that's on today's regular meeting has someone to call.
Yeah.
For instance, today, Jim Rich, who is most enthusiastic guy about Rotary we have, is giving his bio. So I gave Rich a call yesterday just to make sure he was on board and he would show up. And he was very apologetic, but he said, "Bill, I don't like Zoom meetings."
Yeah, I talked with him too. He doesn't like it. And I don't like it either.
Me either.
and it's how do we keep the band together with Zoom meetings? Now, if everybody's just waiting for us to go live again and they're paying their dues, we shouldn't be too upset. But I don't think everybody is waiting for us to go live. How far are we behind on Sirius membership? Randy?
You're talking about dues?
Yeah, that's a good indicator.
Actually, we're in better shape than normal. We have one that Laura Dotson is way behind, but there's going to be a membership issue there.
Yeah, I think Laura's gone.
Did you call her?
She doesn't return my calls or Bill Stram's calls. So I've got to, I should have nailed her in Food Line when I had a chance. I did talk to her in person about a month and a half ago and asked if she was still with us. And she said, "Oh yeah, I'm still with you." I didn't know she was that far behind in her dues. But is there anybody else seriously behind in their dues?
No, there are only two payments outstanding. One is Reggie. He sent me an email before the holiday saying the check was in the mail. But Paul, I don't think I've gotten anything from you indicating that the mail was delivered. So there's one floating around there. And unless I've missed it, I don't have one from Jim Stannard yet, but it's last quarter's dues.
Oh, okay.
Reggie's check might have got mixed in with all those absentee ballots that got thrown out.
I don't know, but I'm hearing horror stories. Hearing horror stories from a lot of people on mail delivery.
No more.
Hey, Chuck, I love you. As long as we have Chuck, we're going to be okay. Well, look, then.
So the answer to your question is we're in pretty good shape.
Okay, then, but I think we should be concerned. I wish Stanley was here because we've really got to work on membership. We are not actively recruiting members, and I'll get with Stan on that. Meanwhile, at today's meeting, we'll make sure that everybody has somebody to call. Even if they don't want to come to a Zoom meeting, we just want to tell them, like I just told Regina, we love you, Regina, and we miss you, and we understand that you hate Zoom meetings. And depending on how the conversation goes, you may or may not get a pass. All in favor of giving Regina a pass?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
No pass, Regina. Hey, Paul, you wanted to say something.
Well, I will say, first of all, Regina has done a really good job coming for somebody that doesn't like Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
So thank you. And secondly, I don't know what's the problem with Zoom meetings. I don't mind them, but it's so easy
work.
to attend.
Like being back at work, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's too detached.
I'm afraid, though, that if we went to every other week, that the attendance would suffer even more.
Okay, I tend to agree because it's,
and I think
it's a matter of habits. If we get in the habit of
membership's not the problem. It's just attendance. It's the problem.
Well, then I don't care. As long as we keep our membership and the dues are being paid, we'll just tough it out until things get better. And I can relate to Regina. I don't like this either, Regina. You know, I tell you, if I wasn't president, I probably wouldn't be here. And I'm just kidding. but if you're
rich, I mean, we've had enough of it. You know, we both just recently retired, so you know, we've had enough of that stuff.
Yeah.
You
Bill
know?
Murphy, you were going to say something.
Well, two things really. I mean, I don't like Zoom there because I've been trying for almost a year now to make myself look even a little bit better on the screen, and it just ain't working. So I've given up on that. But the other thing too is that
you always look good, Bill.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Maybe you need to dim the lights some more.
I'll stay with the Zoom then. But the other thing is, other than doing this,
stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. This is some poor person.
Was everybody frozen there for a while, or was it just me?
You disappeared for a little bit.
Matthews Market. I'm good. I'm going to have to call you back. I've got 8,000 balls in the air, and I'm glad it's you and not a client. Bye-bye.
Client?
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you'd retired.
Who retired?
You.
Yeah, a long time ago.
What are you talking about, client?
I call the people that can't go to the store or can't get to the pharmacy.
Oh, to deliver something to. Okay.
Yeah, to deliver something to, yeah.
Now, I have to ask, was I the only one that the screen froze on, or was everybody frozen?
Yeah, you disappeared.
Yeah.
I disappeared. Oh, okay. As soon as Regina said she didn't like Zoom cut me off. I think we're being monitored.
Okay, well, we had some fun with that. Okay, now here's a serious thing.
Right.
Fundraising, and we've got to, now that the year has started, Randy, we've got to get real serious about, do we have a golf cart or not? It's on me, since I have the relationship with Masters, who is probably busier than all of us put together because he has a real job. He said he would do it, but I'm sure, and he's a nice guy. I don't think he would mind me getting back to him, but I've got to tell him to either paint or get off the ladder, so we can figure out what we're going to do for the second half of the year. So the clock has restarted on the golf cart, and I think if we can get the golf cart, we've got this thing made. This Corona thing is really screwing everything up, because it could impact our ability to sell tickets. Oh God.
Sure.
But although, you know, you can sell a lot of tickets electronically, but we'll worry about that once we know we have the golf cart or not. So that is alive and well, back on the agenda, and will be the major topic and thrust through the end of the fiscal year. We've got to help Chuck get on with his job of recruiting speakers. Chuck doesn't think he would be a good speaker recruiter. let's prove him wrong. And the way we prove him wrong is we give him leads. So, and the board has to exercise leadership here because we're going to ask all the members to do it, but the board has to really get serious about it. So I would like everybody to commit to a lead, good or bad or indifferent, but think about it. Think about somebody that would be of interest to the club. Maybe, maybe not so, but we've got a lot of characters out there who can come on virtually and talk to us. So promise me, this is a promise, this is serious now, we're going to give Chuck leads. So by next week, everybody will give Chuck one lead, right? Well, you're on Murphy, you're on you saying?
I've got one for him right now, really.
There you go.
I heard from one of the other clubs did. They, we always do the bios on the new members, but one of the clubs went back and said, okay, we're going to start with our longest Rotarian member, not by age, but the longest by members being a member of Rotary. Ask that person to give their bio again, or just tell a little bit about why they joined Rotary all those years ago, what it's meant to them, and maybe what they did, just an update on their bio, because a lot of them that I heard, a few years ago when I first joined, I kind of remember, but it wouldn't be bad to hear again. So we could do that at least once a month, pick a present member and say, hey, do your bio again. Or
I was thinking the same thing, Bill.
We
I won't take credit for it.
We started that with Alan Burns, and Alan did his, it's been 6 months ago now. And that was the last time we did it. We did it once and we didn't continue on. It's a good idea.
Didn't Tom Godwin kind of do one?
Yeah, and Tom did one.
Yeah, Tom did one as well.
And we've got a lot of new members since I've been a member for 10 years. And people don't know about all the dirty things I've done during my life.
Well, look, like Rick Hubbard, I think he's our longest.
Yeah. So Chuck, that's always a safety valve, if we're really in trouble.
Okay.
But meanwhile, we're going to get other people, community leaders, or just community characters. Who would be an interesting guy to have? Air Baldwin. Air loves to talk about himself, his history. The family goes back to the King's Grant. I think I'm gonna give you that one, Chuck. That's mine, but I'll have to run interference for you.
All right.
I just want to give
just to tag on with what Bill said. I came down here in 2016. I was retired, so I didn't have the advantage of knowing a lot of people in the area, and being retired, I don't get out there and as you would as a working person and make all kinds of social contacts. Matter of fact, one of the big reasons I came on to Rotary was to try and get some social contacts and meet some people. So it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that I don't have the social contacts, and I'd be happy to give them a call. If you give me the suggestions, I'll take it from there. But I'm just asking for a little help.
Well,
yeah, of course.
COVID doesn't help.
When I had to do it, I'd only been in town like a year. I had no other contacts at all, but Bill Payne is the one that got me in the club. I just, if I could do it then, you can do it now, because I just looked at the newspaper, the Eastern Shore News at the time. Now it would be the Eastern Shore Post, I guess. And just read articles in there and got names, and then I Googled the names and looked them up and called them and scheduled them to be speakers if they sounded like they might be an interesting speaker. Okay. So I just did it off in the newspaper.
But Paul's very very bashful. He also organized a 100-member yacht club. Paul shows up in town, and a year later we have a yacht club. Yeah, right, Paul. You didn't know
It
anybody.
was Dave Stewart's doing.
So that's enough of that. So look,
One more thing, Bill.
anybody got anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing to tag on to that. We're all kind of bashing the Zoom meeting thing, but the one thing that it actually does, I think, help is we don't have to contact people in town to get them to come speak.
Yep.
They don't have to come at lunchtime to a personal meeting when they're supposed to be working. They can pop on Zoom and from wherever their office is, whether it's here or in California, and they can speak to us. So don't limit your suggestions to just people close by. If you know people in Chicago or something like that you think would be of interest to us, give me those names too. I'd be happy to give them a call and see if they join us on Zoom and speak to us.
That's great. Yeah, we have taken advantage of that. All right, we'll go around the room. Randy, you got anything for the board?
No, I'm good.
Regina?
No, sorry. I think I need to talk to you or to Chuck. We just need to have a talk. Okay.
Well, with me or with Chuck? Or
both of you or either of you. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, let's
Chuck
do that.
too.
Make sure we do that this week.
Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I just said let's do it this week.
Okay.
Murph?
Well, I was just going to say another idea I had. We always like to hear from Jeff Holland, the guy that runs the bridge tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
We could do with another update from him. He's a good one. We used to get, when Katie was a member, we used to get a yearly update from the county administrator, sort of a state of the county speech.
Yep, that's a good one.
She would be another good one.
Charlie Kolakowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's good. And I know Charlie real good. But Chuck, he would, I'll give you his information. You could just use my name and you could sign him up.
All right.
Super guy.
You know, because we have to be stuck with Zoom, maybe we could get presidents of Rotary clubs that are international, who speak English, of course, to give us overviews of what their clubs are doing, and especially in light of COVID.
That's definitely a great idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Going through the district office, Chuck, or if you get in touch with the district, any of the district officers, like the finance chair, the foundation chair, membership, all of those people go to clubs and, give their stories and talk on a district level. And through, also through that same office, there's a whole lot of, in fact, I think it's on the Rotary website somewhere, although I do not know where. There's a list of Rotary speakers who will, you can't get them right away, but they'll speak to clubs. And again, Zoom's a good way to do that. So
exactly. We could get people from international to come speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See what happens when you put your brains on it together? 6 smart people. You're gonna probably have people booked into December.
Well, that's what I needed, brains. I've always needed that.
That makes 2 of us. Well, let's jump off, take a breather, get ourselves together, and I'll see you at noon.
All right.
Sounds good.
I know.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You gonna leave the link up, Bill?
You know, I could, but it's a separate meeting. I'm gonna take it down and bring the new one back up.
I'll log back on them.